This is a get ready with me. Get ready for work at my kitchen table. That's where I'm going. I already meditated. I already journaled. Did my affirmations, my visualization. I have Palo Santo burning right here. So I'm ready. So anyone who comes at me with any negative energy, which it already started this morning, honey, I'm ready for you. I am ready for you. So I already gave my face an ice bath. I do that. I feel puffy. I have my water, which I always drink out of a glass jar, stainless steel straws. I took my vitamins, my multivitamin and my B12, and I take my vitamin D every other Friday because it's the strongest. All right, guys. So I have a couple items in front of me. I have my apple cider vinegar, and this is the last of it. I just ordered 2 gallons, so they should be here today. And this is a 70-30 mix, which means at this stage of the game, because I've been doing this for so long, it's 30% water, 70% apple cider vinegar. I do not recommend you do that. If you're starting this on your skin every day, do not do the opposition. Do 70 water, 30 apple cider vinegar. It's very acidic. It will burn your skin, but my skin is used to it because it's been forever. Now, I also have my aloe vera, and I cut her up, but I have the whole entire leaf, darling. This is what we use. Do not use aloe vera like in a jar from Walmart or something. Get the whole plant. Okay. Now, what I do is I designate, I know. It's not aesthetically pleasing. It's not pretty. Apple cider vinegar does stain, so I get specific washcloths. It's not cute. If you are a person who needs beautiful things all the time, get a darker cloth, but I just use the white ones. So there's so many things I want to talk about on this channel, and just in general. I was with another actor on set last week, and we were talking about different projects, and this person has such amazing ideas. Oh my gosh, they're doing such amazing work, and I have a lot of ideas, but I think I'm a little bit scared to do them. That's why. So we were talking about Blackness and growing up in specific environments. Now, this person and I grew up in the opposition. They grew up, you know, in the housing projects, and I grew up in the suburbs. And this is something that I rarely talk about because it gets very triggering amongst other Blacks, sometimes other races, but not as much, but primarily amongst Blacks. And so this is a conversation that I've avoided, and I noticed that people that I grew up with have avoided it as well, and I just don't know why. And so as a writer and a first-time director, I feel like I need to talk about it because it does, like, annoy me, I guess, not to. And so I noticed this, and I'm going to talk about this, like, on my other channel. When you are Black and you're expected to grow up in a certain way or have a certain upbringing, when people expect that of you, when they find out that you don't, ooh, things get really ugly. It's particularly on the internet. Like, I don't really talk about this. I'll mention once in a while things, but if I really go in, oh my goodness, ooh, these comment streets will come alive, honey. And I think I don't even discuss this amongst the people that I grew up with. I was with a friend from college, and we just slightly mentioned something and then, like, moved on to the next. And I was like, wow, that is really a sore spot. and I just, you know, as a writer, I need to, like, explore those things, especially really ugly things, you know, things that make people uncomfortable, or even myself. So I was like, oh, I really have to talk about this then. I have to talk about the Black experience and I don't see this. I don't, particularly on social media, I don't see this. And I think there is a reason why Blacks or other people of color who are looked at in a way like you're supposed to have this upbringing, but then you have the opposite upbringing, and it makes people really uncomfortable. Well, it makes me uncomfortable too, I guess, to even talk about it. But when people expect you to be like them, you know, and they're like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm like, and I just stay quiet because I'm like, no, I actually don't. And I don't want to know what you're talking about. Please get away from me. It gets nasty. It gets nasty. I've seen it many, many times in my life. And so, yeah, there's this thing. I don't think many Blacks talk about the just kind of middle class, upper middle class, suburban kind of lifestyle and what that looks like in Black America, as opposed to the story of I grew up in the hood, or I don't know my father, and things like that. You know, my parents were married when I was born, and, you know, we had like a tradition. My parents were traditional people. They'd never been arrested. They never even drank. They never had company over. They never smoked. Like, they were literally like traditional people, you know. And we grew up in the suburban place, like a house and grass and a backyard and a tree and like regular school and stuff like that. And you wouldn't know that Black people live like that if you just watched YouTube and things, because you know, you're hearing the hood, and it is triggering, I guess, for somebody to not have that experience, I guess. Oh gosh, it's like triggering me just talking about that. Yeah, it's just, you know, and I look at the comments of like previous videos that I made about colorism and things like that, which is not a topic that I talk about all the time. It's just not my platform. I haven't really dived that deep into it, but I still get messages of people claiming that I'm not dark skinned. It's like, I think it's like an attack too. It's kind of very uncomfortable for them to see me call myself dark skinned, but at the same time, you know, say that I haven't had the experiences that they have. And I have not been ridiculed for being dark. I have not been ignored by the boys. I wasn't attacked in that way ever. I told you guys in previous videos that there were very isolated incidents with a light-skinned girl that I grew up with. I've known her my whole life, and you know, that darky comment that slipped out when I was like 15. I still have the photograph, by the way, of that day when that happened. Like, we were all like beautiful photos. And she didn't directly call me darky. It was like, like, it was just something. Also incidents where that light-skinned boy, you know, expected me to want him as a dark-skinned person. And I was like, actually, I'm not even attracted to you. You look really stupid. And he was just like, yeah, right, please. And I see that on the internet too. Like, people were like, yeah, right, you're delusional. Like, they expect me to be intimidated by them. They expect me to be jealous of them. They expect me to have grown up in a rough area like them. And I'm like, I'm just keeping quiet. I think it's safer just to be quiet about things. But also, it doesn't help, you know, it just doesn't help to be quiet. And I think a lot of people who grew up like me just don't say anything. It's safer that way, I guess. I guess it's safer to just shut up. So I use apple cider vinegar on my whole entire body, including my hair. Wash day is Friday. And I use this everywhere, honey. Everywhere. It just, oh my gosh, it cleans your skin like no other. I refuse to buy like $100 creams and La Mer and all this stuff people are trying to use to prevent from being old. Like, you're gonna be old. I'm gonna be 49 in a couple months, and I'm happy to be alive. People are not making it to 49. People are not making it to 39. People are getting cancer and all these diseases really early now, I notice, and I don't know what the hell is going on. It is just, oh my goodness. And I'm happy to get older. I want to get older. as old as possible and still have my amazing health. But people are buying creams hoping that they're gonna stop wrinkles. So silly, so silly. And I just refuse to do it. I opt out of a lot of things. I've opted out of so many things. Certain conversations I just will not join in. I won't join in. Yeah, I have the plant. This feels so good. I leave it in the fridge, so it's like this cold, amazing feeling. So this is what I do every single day and night. I take baths, not showers. So I get in, I scrub my feet. I'm trying to get comfortable. Ow. I scrub my feet. I want to share something with you guys that I started doing. So I started wearing gloves because you'll notice that my hands are, I know, they're a whole different complexion because they're always covered. But not only that, I want you to skip that part, but notice that I have no wrinkles on my hands. The sun and the damage, I live in New York City. I don't know where you guys live. Maybe you live in a place where your air is cleaner, like Colorado or something. But here there's a lot of pollution and there's a lot. And so covering my hands have eliminated all of the damage. Look at that. And I normally wear a long sleeve to prevent a lot of that as well. I see people that are my age that I went to school with who have such damage. I just can't even believe it. I'm like, wow. But I wish I had known earlier. Like, I wish my mother had raised me to wear gloves and, like, you know, do this regimen every day. But I guess she didn't know about apple cider vinegar on the skin. But yeah, this aloe vera is a miracle. Like, I've burnt myself cooking so many times. I mean, really burnt myself because I use cast iron. And this has completely gotten rid of the scarring. Completely. This will heal everything. I had adult acne and the scarring went away completely. And I had some deep scarring. You know the scarring where you just like pull your skin and you can still see it? Gone, honey. Gone. This is like a miracle. So this is like my regimen twice a day, every day for the rest of my life. Doesn't cost much. It's the easiest thing ever. And I'm not afraid of wrinkles or anything, but I don't want any unnecessary damage. Like, I'm not just going outside with a tank top. No, we're not doing that. No. I want to talk about my hair because that triggers people too. It triggers people that I just have natural hair and I'm not trying to like put a hot comb through it. I'm not trying to do that. Oh gosh. My hair triggers people. My complexion triggers people. Like, you can't win. You cannot win. So I started covering my hands years ago and my hair. And what it does is protect me in a multitude of ways. A lot of you guys don't really understand that we're all energy and people carry energy with them and their ugly intentions with them. Not everybody has ugly intentions. In fact, I don't think most people do. But they carry them and they linger on with you. A long time ago, I used to wonder why I would come home and just still feel like, what is this? Like other people's energy. It would cling into my hair and it would just latch onto me. And once I started covering my hair, oh my goodness, I could just take my hair wrap off and wash it and go on about my business. A lot of you guys are just out there with your hair and you come home and like detangle whatever, put some product in it and like get in the bed. Like, you're in the bed with all that energy. And honey, in these New York City subway streets, are you kidding me? I am not bringing the homeless man who just walked by me and his energy latching on me in my bed. No way. Absolutely not. So covering up my hair was the smartest thing ever. I washed my hair. It has never been cleaner. It stays so clean because like all this polluted New York City air is not getting to it. Other people's energy is not latching on to my hair. And I just clean it every week and we wrap it right up. I put this in my hair, by the way. I put this in my hair too. So it's a really smart thing to do. And I know that triggers a lot of people. Wrapping your hair, just natural hair in general. Hair in the Black community is such a tricky topic. People get so triggered by that. Even in other communities, they get triggered when you like yourself. I think that's a thing, and maybe that needs to be explored a little bit more. Just within ourselves, you know, when I'm triggered, I get in the mirror and ask myself, what the hell is going on? Like, why does this bother you? So I'm going to tell you about work last week. I got booked for a small part in a series, and you weren't even really going to see much of my face. I believe the camera was just going to kind of pan like this. And I'm minding my business. I come prepared. I always have my food, my vitamins, whatever I need, so that I'm not disturbed. I never wear makeup, and the makeup artists, I don't mind, because they need to do their job and make me up if, you know, if actually I have lines on camera and I'm, you know, if somebody's just doing close-up of me or they're catching me from behind, you're not really gonna see all the details, so I don't really care. But they cared. So I'm at work, minding my business. My skin looks like this. Let me bring you in. My skin looks like this at work. No problems, honey. No problems, right? And for some reason or other, and I have my hair out, you guys know what my hair looks like. For some reason or another, I trigger the makeup artists. First of all, when I come in, she's like, oh, why are you wearing gloves? So already I'm triggering someone because I look different. I'm wearing gloves. My skin is immaculate. It's triggering, I know. She was a non-Black person, and I just triggered her in some way. I triggered her because I'm different. I have on gloves. She's like, ooh, people don't wear gloves. Like, are you a model? Yes. But that's not the total reason why I wear gloves, but I think that's safer for people. So a lot of times I'm like, yep, that's why. Like, and I just let it go. Like, I just let it go. Oh my goodness. And so I triggered her because I had no makeup on. That's triggering. It's triggering that I have great skin and I don't want what she has. And so she was livid with me. She was like, well, I need to, she was like, well, what do you have? And I was like, nothing. This is what we're doing. She was like, but the camera's gonna be on your face and blah, blah, blah. And I already knew that it wasn't, because I already knew what type of shots they were doing that day. She was so angry. She was like, I'm trying to give you some color. First of all, I was the darkest person on set. Everybody else, white, mixed race, Creole, like very fair-skinned Creole, couple girls. I'm like, you're trying to give me some color? I have more fucking color than everybody in here combined. I didn't say that, but I'm thinking this. And I'm very calm when people approach me in that way, because I already, you know, like I said, I'm fortified, honey, completely. So I just kind of let them do the dance, the triggering dance of, I'm trying to give you some color. I was like, wow. I was like, no, thank you, I'm fine. And she demanded that she put at least a lip tint on me. Honey, she put a lip tint. I don't know what she was doing because I didn't look in the mirror. I just said, let me just follow the rules and allow this person to feel like they have some control. Do you remember your great-grandmother's lipstick? That kind of coppery color. She had the audacity to put that all over my lips. So she was trying to make me look ugly. Oops. Listen. She was trying to make me look as atrocious as I can fucking look. She could have put any type of tint. She went for a strong, like MAC, coppery, something that didn't go with my complexion. And she was like, and I didn't see it. And I was like, okay, you finished? She was like, yeah, just let that dry. And then you can put your own lip balm over it. So I'm walking to the bathroom. And of course, the other actresses are looking at me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And when I say other actresses, I mean black actresses. And I go to the bathroom and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this what we're doing this morning? So honey, I take that shit off. Like, you ain't gonna have me out there in the streets like that. No, you're not. I take it off and I just go sit in the corner and mind my business. That's what I do. I'm not arguing with you. I refuse. And that was my day. I took the makeup off and I look fine. So that's not it. Now the hair stylist got triggered as well. He was like, I think I need to even out your fro. I said, no, thank you. And I went back to doing what I'm doing. And he was like, excuse me? I said, no, thank you. And I think he just went and told on me. He was like, she's refusing to have her hair done. And honey, I sat right in my seat, just sitting there, being fine with my hair, which looked fabulous, by the way. Being fine with my face. It just triggered two individuals, both non-black. It just bothered them that I could sit there looking the way that I do and not have an issue. I wasn't like, oh, please touch up my hair, and please, you know, like others. And you know how some people are on set. They love getting their hair cut and whatever, or they complain about their hair, like, oh, I have this problem, that. Like, they self-deprecate. But for somebody who doesn't, I don't know what it is, and I'm not a psychiatrist, but there's something to that where you're triggered by somebody just living and liking themselves. Like, it's problematic. So I'm gonna be in today, but of course I'm still I still kind of get cute because I'm not one of those people who sits around the apartment or my studio looking like shit just because I'm working from home. I don't do that. I love to put in some work. I put on nice loungewear. I'm gonna put on full earrings, and that's what we're doing. And that's how I like to be when I'm in. There's no excuse to look terrible because, honey, if you practice looking terrible in the house, you're gonna look terrible outside the house. Everything you do is practice. If you're practicing lazy every day, look at that. Look at that now that the aloe vera dried, honey. How dare she touch my face? I'm trying to give you some color. Look at all this color. How dare someone? This is lip balm. Same lip balm I had at work. And this face bothered her, triggered her. My hair triggered that man. He was so mad. He went in the corner and was telling everybody about me. I feel so clean. Ooh, look at that. This is what I do morning and at night. This is what we're doing. $100 jars of wrinkle cream. For what? For what? I'm gonna get wrinkles one day. I don't have any now. But I want to be old enough to see them, you know. So yeah, this is what we do every single morning. It's so interesting what triggers people depending on their insecurity or how they feel about you or how they think you're supposed to feel about yourself. I'm not supposed to like myself. As a dark-skinned Black woman, I'm not supposed to like myself. I'm not supposed to like what I look like. I'm not supposed to like my features. I'm supposed to praise other individuals. I'm supposed to praise other races. I'm supposed to. And I had this conversation with somebody at work who is Black, Caribbean, and he said the same thing. He said, you know, people are triggered by him because he is, he's not what they expect, you know? So remember when I made the short and I said, does my natural hair trigger you? This is what I'm talking about. I was talking about, you know, and this is not the first time that that's happened to me. I'm just bringing this up. You know, it happens amongst Black people too. What are you going to do with your hair? You know? Ooh, I would love to get my hands in your hair. I'm a hairstylist. Come to my salon. Like, it just me just sitting here looking like this is problematic for some people. You know, even with my complexion, people want to fight in the comments. I get comments every single day about how I'm not dark skinned because I'm not supposed to, I think it's an excuse actually with my complexion. It's like, you grew up how you did because you're not dark skinned. That's the excuse, because dark skinned people are not supposed to have admirers. We're not supposed to be on magazine covers. We're not supposed to be on TV. We're not supposed to be liked. We're not supposed to be picked. We're not supposed to be chosen. We're not supposed to be any of these things. And because I've had those experiences, I'm not dark skinned. I'm not. Now I fit into a different category. Oh, that's why. Because you're not really dark. I'm dark enough for somebody to be triggered by me just sitting in the corner minding my business, liking my darkness, not complaining. You know, also I want to bring something up that happened on set as well. There's a fair-skinned girl. She wasn't Creole. She's mixed race from the Caribbean. She talked about that. And, you know, where we were, the AC wasn't that high. It was kind of medium temperature. And she was complaining that she was hot. And she said something a little bit derogatory. And I don't know, got a few laughs from some other fair-skinned people. But I didn't think it was funny. But she didn't offend me personally. But I didn't think it was funny. I thought it was inappropriate. She was like, honey, she was like, I have to find me a fan. And I think they did find her a fan because she complained. And she put the fan on and she was like, listen, I'm a house in. I don't fuck with these fields. Meaning like, oh, honey, I need AC. I just thought it was so inappropriate. Oh my gosh. And the Afro-Caribbean guy looked at me. We like looked at each other at the same time because he was like, what the fuck is this? She also, the same person also mentioned something because I was sitting, I got a nice seat in the corner by myself is what I always do. I like to be by myself and like observe the room. And I was sitting there for a while. She came in later and I think I was in the bathroom, but she put her stuff down right where I was sitting. And when she came back, she was like, I knew there was going to be some Black people sitting next to me. And I didn't say anything. I was thinking, wow. So she was fair enough to kind of ride the gate because she kept mentioning how she's Black and this, that, and the other. But then at other times, you know, she ain't no feel in it. It was just so inappropriate. I mean, if you saw her, she looked kind of like a Jasmine Guy type. And so she could straddle the fence. She could talk about Blackness, which she did all day. I'm from Jamaica, I'm from this, I'm from that. But then she would throw in things that reminded you that she's, you know, other things, right? which doesn't bother me at all because I'm still just sitting there in my dark skin, honey, and liking what I got. And maybe that conversation was for me because she sat next to me talking about it all day. Well, not all day, because it's just the morning. It felt like all day. It was just the morning. So maybe that was for me. Maybe that was, I don't know. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get to work. I've enjoyed this time with you. I don't know. What do you have to say? I know there's going to be a lot of comments about certain things. Do you feel, here's my question for you. Do you feel, and maybe you're not, maybe you don't feel comfortable talking about this because I know it's tricky. I know it is. You know what? I give a lot of people mercy because I know it's tricky for them to talk about. Like, it's tricky for me to start talking about socioeconomic differences and having certain privileges just based on how you grew up, just based on class, which is so stupid. It's so dumb, but it exists. Let's not pretend it doesn't exist in the United States. It does. It does. It does. Where your family comes from matters. Where you grew up matters. That's the first thing people ask me as a dark-skinned Black woman who carries herself in the way that I do, who speaks in the way that I do, who works in the industry that I do. They want to know where I come from. And not as in where your people come from. Well, people want to know that too. They want to know my ethnic background, which I'll never discuss. You know, what's your ethnic background? Particularly people who are non-Black want to know. They always have since I was a little girl. Always know where are you really from. And I'm not talking about that, period. It's not important. But most importantly, people want to know where I come from. What does my family do for a living? What did my father do as a living? How did I manage to grow up in the suburbs and dodge the projects or dodge the slums? How did I manage to do that? How did my parents afford to send me to so-and-so school? Or what tricks did we have to climb over? Did my father secretly sell drugs? Like that's always like a conversation, not amongst Blacks, I noticed, but amongst other races. How did you get in that position? Where are your people from? That's the deeper question they want to know. Because it's kind of like, how dare you have that experience as a Black woman? What did your father do? When I'm around other races, what did your parents do? They want to place me somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They want to place me. How much money did you guys have? How did you afford to go to a school like that? I want to know if you guys feel uncomfortable around these types of individuals where you're wondering like, or it stirs some resentment in you, like a Kendrick Lamar with Drake. Always mentioning that he grew up in a nice area in Toronto. Like he's not allowed to have that experience and be a rapper. Oh, that's a whole other topic. It's just like when they come for you, they come for that. They pull that up. Are you uncomfortable around people that you're trying to gauge like, how did they have that experience and look just like me? You know? How is she dark-skinned Black and can get X, Y, and Z or never experienced this? Oh, well, she's not really dark-skinned then. It's like there's always some type of removal or replacement or excuse or something. Do you feel uncomfortable around people like me? Do you know people like me? And I know you don't know me like that, but I'm just saying, like, did you grow up in if you, this is for those who grew up in maybe an unfortunate situation, and now you're not. Now you're rich and you're fabulous and all that other stuff, and you pulled your ass out of whatever situation, unfortunately, your family had no other option to be in. Do you still have like resentment for, you know what I'm saying? And if you grew up like me, do you feel like that too? Like, do you talk about this amongst others? Is it triggering for you? And why do you think so? These are some heavy questions because they're not just easy. It's not, you know, some of you are going to come in the comments just out of purely reacting and not really thinking about it. Not really thinking about it. But I've seen it my whole life. There is a very strong reaction to me being black, just liking being black, liking my hair texture, just minding my business. And other people trying to find ways, trying to find something, you know, to soothe their discomfort in the fact that I don't praise them and I don't give a shit about what they look like and I couldn't care less. And I know they're not getting any real privileges or they wouldn't be bothering me. They wouldn't be bothering me. They wouldn't be bothered by me. They wouldn't want to sit next to me and talk about, you know, all sorts of stuff. All right, guys, let me get to work. I'm going to eat breakfast. My breakfast is going to be, I have melon, I have cherries, I have 2 different types of grapes. I have cotton candy grapes and I have red grapes. So I'm going to have a combination. Oh, wait, am I going to eat that today? Oh, no, I'm not going to eat that. I decided I'm going to have a strawberry mango smoothie because I got a bunch of mangoes and they're ripe. And I believe they're the Haitian kind, which is my favorite kind of mangoes from Haiti. And I got those. I got strawberries. And I put chia seed. I put vanilla oatmeal in it. I have flaxseed. I have kale I'm going to put in it as well. So I decided I'm going to have that. Now, my other combination I'll have for dinner. For dinner, I'll do the melon, the grapes, and all that good stuff. And then we'll throw in, like, I don't have it. I guess I have to go out and get some spinach. Oh, I have tomato. I have cucumber. I think I may have no, I don't have spinach. I have kale. So we'll do that for dinner. We'll do the grape melon combination and the kale and stuff for dinner. But I'm going to have my smoothie and I'm going to work. I'm going to work until about 3:30. And then I'll probably go out and run because I'm doing my exercise in the reverse. I usually do that in the morning, but we're going to do that later. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I've enjoyed talking to you. I know some of you will be triggered. I know. It's heavy. I'm triggered talking about this stuff. I am. And interesting enough, I just don't know why I'm triggered. That's what triggers me. Is like, why are you triggered? And every time I have this conversation, it just I don't know. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff, guys. No Makeup Needed is a beauty and lifestyle channel where I give you guys tips and tricks on how to be your most fabulous self. Hopefully inspiring you guys to embrace your natural beauty without filters, fillers, Photoshop, and makeup. I want you guys to feel good going outside in the public, in whoever you are, and liking it and liking your features. And, you know, people will come for your features. They come for mine. And I'm very neutral. I have very neutral features. I literally don't have anything that sticks out. Like, you know, I don't have a prominent nose. I don't have a prominent, like, nothing. Bone structure, I don't have a prominent. Even my body type is just, like, and people still find ways. They will sit and think about something and find something, honey. So I already know what you guys are going through. People will find something, but I want you to like what you see and like your lineage. You know, whenever you make fun of something, you're making fun of your mother, your father, your great-grandparents, all of these people. You're making fun of them. And when you look at them, you find them beautiful. So it's strange that you look at yourself and you make fun of your nose and your lips and your eyes and stuff. I'm like, this is your lineage, you know, your lineage, excuse me. These are your genetics. So it's the only body you're ever going to get. It's the only physical life experience you're ever going to have. And you better like it, and you better enjoy it. And, you know, nobody said life was easy all the time. You got to work through some things. And so I have to work through my things, and you're going to work through yours. All right, guys.